All right, good morning. Sorry, I had to come around to the front of the camera. Today we're doing lesson 143. We're just reviewing adjectives before we move on to the next unit, which will be adverbs. Those lessons we'll start doing live, so I'll have 2 of those this week, and the email will be coming to you on that. But for this lesson, we're going to do a quick review on the board, 2 sentences that we're going to review diagramming, and then we're going to be using page 219 in your books. And that's all we're going to do today. So very quickly, go ahead and read these sentences. You can pause the video when you're ready and choose, are you going to use a singular verb or a plural verb with the subject? Go ahead and do that. All right, hopefully you read through them quickly. A lot of them should have been very easy for you to choose. $100 was or were collected. This is what we need to get rid of. Money is a singular amount, even though it's $100, it's one amount was collected. Okay, this one, we should have crossed off were, because this is the name of a song, that's why it's in quotes. It tells you it was sung, so that tells you it's a single song. So even though this is a plural word, Rock of Ages is one thing was. 2 jars of spaghetti sauce. Well, we're not using this as the subject is jars, jars were. And then the Olympics is, and this tells you right here it's a singular event. The Olympics is an event that many athletes spend years preparing for. All right, if you have a whiteboard, that would work even better. But if you have paper, I want you to diagram this sentence. It's not very long, but every word in it is going to have a place in our diagram because we've now done subjects, verbs, direct objects, predicate nominatives, predicate adjectives, and we've done prepositional phrases when it comes as an adjective. We've done indirect objects. We've also done adjectives. But this one's simple. John's dad has a new fishing pole. Go ahead and do that while I erase. You can pause if you need to. All right. Here's the sentence. Probably got turned. Okay. All right. You should have unpaused when you're talking about John's dad has a new fishing pole. Here we go. You should have the subject as dad. John's is the adjective describing whose dad. Remember, our adjectives answer questions. Which one, what kind, how many, how much, whose. So John's dad has, it's a state of being verb. Pole is our direct object because this is a being verb, not linking. Okay, and this is a noun. We want the straight line there. What kind of pole? A new fishing pole. Okay. Next sentence, I want you to diagram. Again, same thing. You're going to be diagramming each word. Our basketball team has won every game. Okay. So go ahead and pause. Unpause it when you're ready to check. All right, here we go. You should have diagrammed. Your subject is team. There were 2 adjectives describing which team and whose, our and basketball team. The verb has won. Since that is an action, we're looking for a direct object. That's why it's not slanted. Game is what they won. What kind of game or how many games or which one? Every. Okay, so our basketball team has won every game. There we go. All right, I'm going to pull up page 219 here on the screen, and we are going to do this review together. Spotting compliments. Let's wait for that to come up. There we go. Okay. All right, spotting compliments. We need to underline the compliments in the sentences, and we're going to label them as indirect object, direct object, predicate nominative, and predicate adjective. Now, I always recommend that we underline our subject and verb first. All right, so the soccer team celebrated their victory. We should definitely see that it's team and celebrated. Let's underline the whole thing. Because this is an action verb, we're not going to find a predicate nominative or a predicate adjective. So we're going to ask questions to look for indirect and then, or direct and then indirect objects. Team celebrated what? Victory. Here's our DO. To whom or for whom is not on there, so we have no indirect object. All right. That man is my father's friend. Again, subject and verb to help us figure out how the other words are used. Man is the subject, is the verb. You should recognize this is a linking verb. So we're looking for a predicate nominative, which is a noun, or a predicate adjective. Man is what? Hopefully you recognize that it's friend, and since that is not an adjective, it is a noun. There's your PN, your predicate nominative. Okay? We don't have to label everything, it just wants us to label these. So our subjects and verbs are to help us identify those. But this is what needs to be labeled. All right, the book about the missionaries was exciting and inspiring. Your subject, book. Where's your verb? It's further on in the sentence, and it is a linking verb. So we're not looking again for a direct object or an indirect object. We are looking for a predicate nominative or a predicate adjective. Those follow linking verbs. Was what? Well, exciting and inspiring. And hopefully you recognize that these are adjectives. So this would be your predicate adjectives. Direct objects always follow action verbs. And they might have an indirect object in between, but they don't have to, just like this one. Predicate nouns and predicate adjectives follow linking verbs. All right, my dad gave me some good advice. Your subject, dad. Your verb, gave, right? And gave what? Because we have an action verb. Gave advice. There's your direct object. To whom or for whom? We have that here. So this is your indirect object. My dad didn't give me. He gave advice to me, all right? The indirect object always comes between the action verb and the direct object if it's in there. It will never be outside any other place. All right, sentence 5. I bought a new watch on Monday. Here's your subject. You should have recognized bought is the verb. I bought what? Watch. So that makes it a what? Hopefully you said direct object because this is an action verb. This is what they bought. It is a noun. It is a direct object. All right, sentence 6. The refreshing showers and gentle breezes are invigorating. Your subject? Good if you caught that it's compound, showers and breezes. So your verb, are, which is a linking verb. Is this going to be a PA or a PN? Because it's got to equal the subject and point back to it. It would help if I underlined it. There we go. It's not a noun, it's an adjective. It's describing the showers and the breezes. They are invigorating. Okay. Do 7 through 10. I'll scroll them up so they're easier to see on the board. Go ahead and pause. Do those, and then let's check your work. All right, let's check to see how you did. If you didn't underline your subjects and verbs and you're able to easily identify direct objects, predicate nominatives, indirect objects, and predicate adjectives, great. I'm going to still do it because it's helpful to me. And sometimes many of you will find that helpful in narrowing down what you're going to choose. He should be the subject. Remember, in a question, it's usually an out of order or a flopped order. He is. There's your verb. It is a linking verb. So he is what? Boy. This is an adjective. This is an adjective. This is actually an adjective phrase, which we're going to review down here, but we'll get to that in the next section. All right, here, mom and sister was a compound subject. Are. There's another linking verb. Together they are friends, predicate nominative. Okay. Teacher is the subject, handed is the verb, and because it's an action verb, we're looking for a thing. Handed what? Assignment. Once we have a direct object, then we can ask to whom or for whom? Us. There's our indirect object. All right, and then number 10, the sandwiches tasted. And we have to remember, this could be action or linking, so we've got to look at how it's used. Is the sandwich, or are the sandwiches, physically tasting something? No, that would not make sense. So it's not an action verb, it's a linking verb. We're looking for a predicate adjective here. Okay, tasted delicious. Okay. This is used as a linking verb in this case. If you got anything incorrect, go ahead and change that, and hopefully the explanation made it more clear to you. But we're going to move on to the using adjectives section. I'm going to scroll this up here and erase this gobbledygook that's blocking it. All right. Adjectives. I'm going to read my book because my eyes are going crazy looking at the blurry screen. 1, draw a circle around each adjective phrase. We've done this a couple times before, but not enough where we might all be able to do it independently, so we're going to do it together. Make sure it starts with a preposition and ends with a noun. So you're looking for prepositional phrases, and they're working as adjectives. The whole phrase is describing which one, what kind, how many, how much, or whose. Sentence 2, or section 2, step 2, draw an arrow to the noun or pronoun that the phrase modifies. And then 3, on notebook paper, we're going to diagram the first 5 sentences. So let's first get all of our adjective phrases and arrows drawn showing what they're modifying. So when we're looking at the house on the corner is our house. We're looking for a prepositional phrase, and we should be able to identify this right away. On the corner. Describing what? It's describing the house. Okay? Which house? The one on the corner. Okay? Our neighbor trimmed the branches on his elm tree. Again, if we're looking for prepositional phrases, that should be fairly easy to spot by now. Okay? By the time we're in 6th grade, we should recognize prepositional phrases. Look for a preposition to start,